Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online.
Hello everyone, welcome to My Zone Online School. I am Teacher Hartum and our theme for this week is plants and growth. Now, before we start with our lesson today, we have to remember to sanitize. Now remember, boys and girls, we need to sanitize so that we can clean our hands and get rid of all the nasty germs. Let's look at what we are going to learn about today. Today we will be doing some reading, phonics, and counting. In this part of our lesson, we are going to do a little poem. Let's turn our booklets to page 17. On page 17, you will see there we have a plants poem. Now we are going to read through the poem and then we are going to see or read through the questions before we go through the poem again. Plants poem. A little seed to plant with care, with a little soil and a little air. Growing plants is so much fun. My plants will grow with lots of sun. With a little patience and lots of showers, in a few days it will be a flower. I will plant my seeds with lots of care and grow flowers everywhere. Right, now let's have a look at the questions. Question number 1. Plants grow from a. Number 2. Name 4 things plants need in order to grow. Number 3. What else do plants still need to grow apart from the 4 things you mentioned at number 2? Number 4. In which season do we plant seeds? Number 5. What do you think will happen if plants do not get what it needs? Number 6. Order the stages of growth below. Write 1 to 5 in the blocks. Now underneath number 6 you will see there are a few pictures. There are 5 pictures. Can you see the pictures? Right. Now when you plant a seed, then it will grow into a flower. Now what you have to do is you have to number the stages of growth, meaning where it will start and where the growth of the plant will end. Okay, and you will now have to number the stages from number 1 up to number 5. Okay, now let's quickly go back and read the poem one more time. Plants poem. A little seed to plant with care, with a little soil and a little air. Growing plants is so much fun. My plants will grow with lots of sun, with a little patience and lots of showers. In a few days, it will be a flower. I will plant my seeds with lots of care and grow flowers everywhere. Now, I'm going to go through the questions with you one last time. Number 1. Plants grow from a. Number 2. Name 4 things plants need in order to grow. Number 3. What else do plants still need to grow apart from the 4 things you mentioned at number 2? Number 4. In which season do we plant seeds? Number 5. What do you think will happen if plants do not get what it needs? And number 6. Order the stages of growth below. Write 1 to 5 in the blocks. Okay, now boys and girls, I am going to leave you to try and complete the questions and order the stages of growth at number 6. Now remember everyone, if you don't remember an answer, you can always go back and read through the poem more or one more time. I will be back after this short break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
In this lesson for today, we are going to talk about phonics. Let's turn our booklets to page 18. On page 18, number 1, it says, look at the pictures and rearrange the letters to form words. Now you will see you have pictures and then you have scrambled letters that have to form a word. Now we are going to look at the picture and see if the letters can spell out the picture. Now boys and girls, remember we are doing the sh sound. Okay, you will see on top of page 18 it says sh words. Okay, and remember your sh sound makes up the letter S and the letter H. Now I chose 2 words that we are going to do together, and we are now going to try and rearrange these words in the right order. Okay, so let's look at the first word. The first one was next to your first picture. Now what we can do with this word is, we know that we are dealing with the sh sound. Okay, so what we can do is, we can look in the scrambled word to see, do we have an S and an H? Can you see an S and an H? That's right. So there you have your S and there you have your H. So now we go ahead and we write our S and our H. Right. Now let's quickly go back to page 18 and have a look at the first picture one more time. What do you see in the first picture? What do you think that looks like? If you said a shell then well done, everyone. The first one is a picture of a shell. So now let's go back and see, can we spell the word shell with the letters that we have available? So we already took the S, we took the H, so now we have to use the rest of our letters. So let's see, shell needs an E. Do we have an E? Yes, we do. And we also have our two L's that we need for the end of the word. So there we go, and we now have our first word. Right. Now, the next word that I chose was in the, on page 18 as well. So I want us to quickly go back to page 18 and have a look at the next picture. What do you see in the next picture? If you said shapes, then well done. Now, when we talk about shapes, I want you to say this word out loud. Say it with me. Shapes. Do you think that this word could be the word shapes? Let's see. It starts with the sh sound once again. So when we look for the sh sound, we have to look for an S and an H, which we have right here. So we write that down. What other letters do we need to spell the word shapes? Let's see if we have all the letters in here. So we have an S, we have an H. What other letter do we need? An A. Do we have an A? That's right. We have an A. Then we need a P. That's right. We have the P right there. What other letters do we need to spell the word shapes? We need the E and the S at the end. So then we write the E and we write the S and we have the word shapes. Okay, so now we found the word shell and we found the word shapes. What you have to do now, boys and girls, is you can go back and take a good look at all those pictures and try and figure out what the correct words are that will describe the picture. Now, let's quickly move on to number 2 and see what we have to do there. It says, build up your own 5 words using these letters. Now you will see in the little shape there are a few letters scrambled all over. Now you have to take these letters and try and build 5 words using all the letters. Okay, now I went through the words and I found 2 words out that I could build out of those letters. The first word that I could build was the word shop, and I also found the word wash in there. But remember, these are not the only words that you can find. There are many other interesting words that you can build from those letters. In number 3, on page 18, it says that you have to choose any 2 words and write sentences with it. Okay, now, if you have chosen all your 5 words, you can take any 2 words out of the 5 and build your own sentences. Now, I built myself a little sentence with one of my words as well. Let's see. So remember, I said I found the word shop. Okay, remember our phonics sound for today is the sound sh. So we made the word shop. Okay, and the sentence that I made out of this word was, we buy seeds at the shop. Where do we buy seeds? We buy it at the shop. Okay, so now you can go ahead and find all the other words and build your 2 sentences with any of the words that you have found. Remember, if you have trouble, you can always go back and read the words that we have done previously, and that might also give you a clue on which words you could possibly find in the little shape at number 2. Now I'm going to give you some time to finish all the work and construct all your sentences. We will be back shortly after this ad break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 10 different languages.
In this part of our lesson, boys and girls, we are going to do some counting. Now let's go to page 19 in our booklets. Now on page 19, you will see you have a block with counting numbers. Okay, it starts from number 61 all the way up to 100. Okay, now let's move on to number 1. Number 1 says we have to count on. Okay, now you have to look at the first 2 numbers to see how you have to count on. Okay, so for number A, it says 60, 61. So that means you have to continue with the rest. Now I am going to do C with you. Can you have a look at number C? It says 60, then 65. So how many numbers did we skip here? We have counted in 5s. Okay, so now we have to continue counting in 5s. So on the board I wrote 60 and 65. Can you tell me what number you think will come after the number 65 if we count in 5s? We can all count together and see. 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. That's right. So that means our next number will be 70. And if we have to continue, you will then just add 5 more. So we say 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. So our next number will be the number 75. Let's do one more. If we have to count more or 5 more than 75, let's count together. 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. So our next number will be the number 80. Okay, now everyone, you can go back and have a look how many numbers you have to complete or continue with. And then you can go ahead and count on. Okay. Now I have done this example with you. You can go ahead and count on and also do the other 2 on your own. But before we complete the activity, let's quickly go back to page 19 and have a look at number 2. Number 2 says we have to count in 3s. Okay. So we are going to do one example together as well. So it says there 15. Then we have the number 18. Now if you count in threes, then you will count 15, 16, 17 and then 18. Now let's count in threes together to see what our next number will be. On the board, I wrote the number 15, the number 18. Now if we have to count in threes, let's see what our next number will be. So we stopped at 18, so we say 19, 20, 21. So our next number will be the number 21. Let's do one more. Counting in threes, 22, 23, 24. So that will be our next number. And one last one, 25, 26, 27. So this is how we will count on in threes. Okay. Now, before I give you time to complete the rest of your counting for number 2, let's quickly have a look at number 5. Let's quickly turn our booklets back to page 19. At number 5, it says, count back in twos. Count back in twos. Now it says there you have to start with the number 20. And if you start with the number 20, you have to count backwards, subtracting 2 every time. Okay, now let's quickly have a look. Now we have all the numbers on the board here. You will see it starts with 20. Now if we have to count back, then it means 20 counting back in twos, 1, 2, then our next number will be the number 18. And if we count back further, 1, 2, the next number will then be the number 16. Okay, and so we go counting back 2 more, 1, 2, and that number will then be the number 14. Let's do one more together. 1, 2, and that number will be the number 12. You see, so what you have to do now, boys and girls, is you have to go back and write all the numbers in here that we have counted backwards. You see, so 20, 18, 16, 14, and so on. Right. Now that you know what to do, I'm going to give you some time to go back to number 1 and complete all the counting for all the numbers that you have on page 19. We will be back shortly after this ad break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
We have come to the end of today's lesson. Now, before we go, boys and girls, you have to remember to sanitize. Remember, sanitizing keeps all the nasty germs away and it keeps us clean and healthy. Now, before we go, boys and girls, Zoshi promised me that we could go for a nice hot chocolate. Now, I wonder where Zoshi is. Zoshi, do you see Zoshi anywhere? Zoshi! Oh, there he is! Hello, Zoshi! Now, we'll ask Zoshi to say goodbye to you as well. We will see you next time. Keep well!
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.